I'm so happy you're doing this presentation in front of my bosses.
For you, Jenny, anything. Leaping lizards. I forgot what the presentation's about. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Wait, I know. I'll make a presentation to embarrass my teacher, Mrs. Hall. Ha 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 ha.
Annie Warbucks will now feature this presentation. It's okay, Annie. Don't be nervous.
Behold, Mrs. Hall. Some say that Mrs. Hall is a great teacher of grace and poise, and is always welcomed in our nation's society. Well, I say hell with grace and poise. If Mrs. Hall wanted to be herself, she could do a video of this.
I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for my shirt. So sexy it hurts. I'm going to kiss you because Annie is the best student ever. Die, asshole. Ha 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 ha. Boyfriend number 313 murdered. Ha 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 ha.
No. Mrs. Hall, what are you doing?
Burn in the shower. Temperature of hot water is 4 million degrees Celsius.
Ow, 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 ow. Too hot.
People at the presentation. Go sake.
That was the real Mrs. Hall. Outside school grounds.
That's not what the meeting's about. But I have a question. Mrs. Hall says degrees Celsius instead of degrees Fahrenheit? She always says Fahrenheit. Why did she say Celsius?
People change outside school grounds, Jenny.
No. She never says Celsius. Ever. That was fake presentation. It was Caillou dressed up as Mrs. Hall, wasn't it?
Yes.
Go home. You're suspended until further notice.
How am I going to explain this to Warbucks? I'm going to be so grounded when I get home. I know that girl. Wait, girl. Come back. Wait, stop. She's gone. Who the hell is that girl? She is creepy. I better get home.
Annie, how did your presentation go?
Oh my god, he doesn't know. Yeah, it was awesome. Jenny liked it, but Dad, I need to tell you something. I keep seeing this girl.
What girl?
I don't know. I see this girl and she keeps staring at me. I think she's a stalker.
Oh my god. This is serious than I thought. We have to call the police.
No. I don't want authorities to get involved.
Annie, have you done something wrong? Because it's a text message from the school.
Poop. I'm busted.
Hello, Mr. Warbucks. This is Jenny, the principal of Plotagon High. Ground your daughter because she made a fake presentation of Mrs. Hall. When the video Annie showed was never the real Mrs. Hall at all. Just Caillou in a costume just to make Mrs. Hall look bad. Ground her forevermore. That's all. Jenny. P.S. The presentation was never about Mrs. Hall. It was supposed to be about global warming. Little stupid orphan Annie. How dare you make a fake presentation at school about Mrs. Hall when really you should be making the presentation about global freaking warming. And I also can't believe that Caillou was dressed as Mrs. Hall. I bet the story about the stalker was to get me to feel sorry about you before I found out about this monstrosity.
No, it's not like that. There really is a stalker.
Save your stories for when you go to bed, Missy. As far as I'm concerned, you're guilty. I'm freaking blood pressure. That's it. You are grounded for 98,765 days. I have a very special punishment for the coming days. Go to your room now.